Okay, so meanwhile I'm going to sharing my screen. So let them join. So somewhat late, so no issues. Okay, so till now, so within our WIT, so we have covered so many concepts using which we are going to developing the web applications. Either it may be HTML, JavaScript, or it may be so CSS, or even it may be PHP concepts. So right now we are going to be discussing about how we can use XML language as part of development of our web applications here. Okay, so within the first half part of the fourth unit, so we have discussed so the issues that we are going to be facing. So in case of forms, whenever we are going to either using HTML or PHP language, and we are going to developing the forms. So now we need to here discuss about the basics feature of the XML language. So and what are the different types of mechanism we are going to be using for storing and transporting the data. Okay, so basically, so XML language so stands for, so XML means extensible markup language. Okay, so similar to HTML, so it is also a markup language. Okay, so whenever we are going to saying any language is a markup language, nothing but so whatever the data we are going to be representing with the help of that particular language, so always we are going to be enclosing within tags only. So if you take, so in case of HTML language, so we are having multiple tags, so like so bold tag, so on italic tag, so on the same time, so we are having so table tag, so then image tag, so like that. So within HTML we are having multiple tags, so always a tag will be having one name, so which we are going to enclosing in between opening and closing angular braces here. So let us say here B is the name of the tag. So that tag name we are going to be enclosing within opening and closing angular brackets. Okay. So this one we actually call as opening tag. So then followed by the same tag, if you are going to be adding with the so slash symbol within the inside of the name of the tag, so then that one we call as closing tag, right? So in between opening and closing tag, so suppose if you are going to placing some kind of text, okay, so this text whatever we are going to be displaying within your web page, so on top of that particular text, so this particular tag will be here applied. Okay, so nothing but so data whatever we are going to be having here, so data nothing but in this example text, so we are going to be here enclosing in between opening and closing tags, right? So like that, so any data within your website, if you are going to be enclosing with the help of opening and closing tags, so that kind of languages we generally call as markup language. Okay, so in the same line, so similar to your HTML language, so even XML is also one kind of markup language. Means so here also in case of XML also data will be marked up. Okay, so marked up nothing but here we are going to be enclosing the data in between opening and as well as closing the tags. Okay, so at the same time if you take HTML language, so basically HTML language we are going to be using for presentation of the data. So whatever the data you are going to be displaying within your website, so okay, so for that data, so what kind of formatting styles you need to apply, so that one you are going to be representing with the help of HTML language, right? So but in case of this XML language, so instead of discussing about how to represent your data within your website, so we are going to mostly focusing upon what type of data we are going to be here displaying within your website. The basic difference if you observe between XML and as well as HTML language is, so XML language we are going to be using or designing to for the purpose of carrying the data or storing the data, and at the same time for providing the transportation of the data in between client and as well as server. Whereas if you take HTML language, so basically it was designed for displaying the data. Means XML language mostly is going to be focusing on what is the data we are having. Okay, so but in case of HTML language if you take, so it is going to be mostly focusing on how your data should look like to the user. Okay, so how you want to represent your data to the final user, so that one will be focused by the HTML language. In case of XML language, so if you observe, what are the tags you are going to be using. So similar to HTML, even within your XML language also we are having tags. So but what is the difference between HTML tags and as well as XML tags means, so in case of HTML tags, all the tags are predefined, means already they are available within HTML language itself. You are not able to create your new tags here. So but in case of XML language, if you observe, so we don't have any kind of predefined tags. So whatever the tags that you want to here apply, so or you want to create, that can be created by the owner of the document or user itself here. Okay, so that is the major difference between your XML and as well as HTML tags here. HTML tags are predefined tags, whereas XML tags are not predefined tags. So here the user himself is going to creating so the tags related to your document, so that you are going to be creating with the help of XML language. Okay, so but in case of HTML language, so if you take, so we'll be having predefined tags like paragraph, bold, table, italic. So all these tags will be available and we are going to working with those predefined tags here. Okay, so if you take the basic differences between your XML and as well as HTML tags. So what are the differences we are going to be having is, so XML language is majorly designed to focus what is data. Okay, so if you take HTML language, so it has been designed to focus how to present your data. So that is the major difference between XML and as well as HTML language. So the next one we are going to be having is, so if you take XML, so we are going to using, so this one for storing, transporting and at the same time sharing the data, so between one system to another system. So that is one of the major highlight feature of the XML language. Okay, so at the same time, if you take HTML language, so we are going to using this one, so in order to majorly display your data. At the same time, XML language is not going to using any kind of predefined tags. No predefined tags are used in case of XML language. So but whereas in case of HTML language, if you take, so here predefined tags are available in case of HTML language. So in case of XML language, author nothing but the person who is going to developing your XML document. So author himself has to create the tags, whatever we want to use here. Okay, so in case of HTML tags, so tags will be already there and the programmer or the developer is going to use that predefined tags. So these are the basic differences between HTML and as well as XML language we are going to be having. So if you take so somewhat features of the XML language, so basically whatever the data that you are going to be providing or storing with the help of XML, so that will be in plain text format. So XML so stores the data in plain text format. So that is the reason, so using XML language, so we can share, send and as well as transport data. So from one system to another system over the internet. So that is one of the major feature of the XML language. Okay, so at the same time, if you take some more features of the XML language, so this XML language is platform independent. So whenever we are going to be saying platform independent means, so it can be supported by any operating system. It can be supported by any operating system. Okay, so let us say you have designed your XML document so within Windows operating system, so and you have moved that one to the Linux operating system. So still you can be able to access that XML document even within the Linux operating system. So that is the reason we are going to saying here that XML language is platform independent. Okay, so and also it will support upgradations of your browsers and as well as your operating systems. Okay, it will also support upgradations of operating system and as well as browsers and other any kind of application. Okay, so let us say you have designed your XML document within Windows 7 and you are trying to access the same document from Windows 8.1. Okay, so still you can be able to access that particular XML document that has been designed within older version of your operating system. Even though we are having the same operating system, but the versions of the operating systems are here different. You develop the document within Windows 8 and you want to access within Windows 10 here. So still you can be able to access that one. So because of that reason, so we are going to be saying here that so this particular XML language is a platform independent tool. So basically XML we are going to be using for storing, transporting and as well as sharing the data from one system to another system here. Okay, so even if we are having this kind of upgradations, so with respect to your operating system, or it may be so from transporting from one operating system to another operating system, so still you are able to access the data, so without any kind of loss of data. So means, so here we are going to be having so data availability. Okay, so that is also one of the major feature of the XML language here. So these are the somewhat the features of XML language we are going to be having. So the first thing is what are the data that is going to be stored by the XML will be in plain text format only. So that is the basic reason using which you are going to be here transporting the data from one system to another system. At the same time, it is a platform independent tool, and so here even if you are going to be having upgradations, so still you are able to access the data. So means, so we are having no loss of the data. So means it is going to be offering data availability feature here. Okay, so where we can use this particular XML language means, so either we can use within web development. So that is the major feature of the XML language. Okay, so whenever you are going to be here developing any kind of websites, and as part of that one you need to enclose or include your data. So that data you can here store with the help of XML language here. Okay, so and at the same time, so we are going to be using XML language so for separating data so from presentation. Okay, so separating data from presentation nothing but, so let us say you design one particular HTML file. So within that one you want to make some modification with respect to your data. So as of now we are having here so suppose some kind of data so related to a student, so like roll number and at the same time so branch, year and sem, all these details we are having. So later you want to here update your student details. In that case, so along with the data you need to also here change with respect to your presentations also. Whatever the formatting tags you are going to be using there, you need to also change them. So that is happening in case of HTML language. So but what XML will do is, so it is going to concising the data in a separate document. Whatever the presentations that you are going to be making, so presentations in the sense here, what kind of formatting styles you are going to be applying, in the sense, so whether you want to represent your text in bold format or italic format, all these things you are going to be here storing in a separate file. So HTML file is going to mainly focusing on your presentation styles, and XML file is going to be here mainly focusing on your data. So here, because of a change in case of XML data file, so you don't have any kinds of changes with respect to your presentations also. So it is more or less similar to your CSS concept here. So there also formatting styles you are going to be saving in a separate file. So data you are going to be here storing in a separate file here. Okay, so here also the same kind of things or features we are going to be having in case of XML also. Okay, so followed by that one, if you take any XML document, so XML document nothing but, so that particular data that you want to represent, so store, if you are going to be storing that one with the help of XML language, so that entire data we generally save within one file, and that file we call as XML document. Okay, so XML document nothing but, so it is consisting of data, so which has been stored by following the rules and regulations of XML language. Okay, data which has been stored in a file following XML language rules and regulations. Okay, so that one we generally call as a XML document. So within XML document, so you will be having multiple kind of elements. Every XML document will be having multiple elements. So like HTML language, in case of XML also, so entire data we are going to be representing only with the help of elements. So element nothing but you will be having, so opening tag, so some data or text, and at the same time you will be also having some kind of closing tag. So whatever the opening tag and closing tag you are going to be seeing here, so that will be created by the user himself. We don't have any kind of predefined tag. So whatever the tags you want to create will be created by yourself. You can give any kind of names for your particular tags here. So let us say you are having student name. So this is one tag. Okay, so if you observe here, so you will be having here opening and closing angular braces. In between that one, you are going to having some text called student name here. Okay, so this one is one opening XML tag here. So then followed by that one, so here we are having slash student name. So this is your closing XML tag here. Okay, so here in between that one, I am going to writing something like SVC. So here nothing but, so student name, this one is opening tag. So this one is your text or data. So this one is your closing tag here. So combination of opening and closing and at the same time your data we generally call as an element here. Okay, so like that within an XML document you will be having multiple number of elements, right? So but out of these all elements, so one of the element, so we are going to be calling as here root element. So why we are going to calling this element as the root element means, so entire elements that are present within any kind of XML document, so they will be arranged in tree fashion. So tree fashion nothing but they will be arranged in hierarchical fashion. Okay, so all the elements of XML document, all the elements of XML document are arranged in either hierarchical or tree fashion. So that is the reason one of the element from those multiple elements we are going to calling as root element. Okay, so that root element we generally call as here parent element. Okay, so every parent element will be having either a single child or multiple child here. So if you take a parent element, so it will be having so multiple or a single child element. Okay, so parent element, so we generally call as root element of the document, and from the root elements you will be having branches towards your child elements. Okay, so nothing but which we generally call as leaves here. Okay, so parent element we call as root element, and all other elements which are we generally call as child elements, so we are going to be calling as here leaves of that particular tree here. Okay, so we are beginning from the root element and we are moving branching towards your all the leaf elements here. Okay, so then if you see one of the simple example of any kind of XML document tree kind of structure, I am going to taking one simple example. So in this simple example, so the root element whatever we are going to be having is here catalog. Okay, the one which you are going to be seeing in gray color. Okay, so which is a very at the top level of your tree here. So we generally call this one as a root element. Okay, so catalog we generally call as root element. So root element nothing but, so this one is parent element of all remaining other elements here. Okay, so for catalog element you will be having two child elements in this particular example. So these two child elements for catalog we are having is books and as well as laptops here. Okay, so catalog is the parent element. So for parent catalog we are going to be having so books and laptops as the child element. Okay, so again if you see the next level, so for books we are having only one child called book here. For laptops, we are having only one child called laptop here. So books, which you are going to be seeing in gold color. So and book, which you are going to be seeing in blue color. So here we are having parent to child relationship. So books is parent, book is a child here. Laptops is parent and laptop is a child here. Okay, but books and as well as laptops are, so both are child of the catalog. Okay, the elements that you are going to be seeing at the same level and which are having one common parent, so we generally call as here siblings. Okay, so if you see books and laptops, both are at the same level and both are having the same parent catalog. So in that case, books and as well as laptops we generally call as here siblings. Okay, so but if you take book and as well as laptop, which we are going to be seeing in blue color, so they are even though present in the same level, so for both we don't have the common parents here. Okay, so here books is parent of book and laptops is parent of laptop here. Okay, so because of that, so they are not direct siblings. So book and as well as laptop are not direct siblings here. Okay, so again if you see for book, so for book we are having three children called title, author and as well as price here. Okay, for laptop we are having brand, hard disk drive and as well as RAM. At the same time you will be having price. So the last one here actually we should have price here. So brand, hard disk drive, RAM and as well as price, all they are child of laptop and all they are four siblings. So here title, author and price, all they are siblings and children of book here. Okay, so like that all the elements which are part of any kind of your particular XML document we will be arranging in tree fashion here. So nothing but hierarchical fashion. Hierarchical fashion nothing but level by level fashion here. Okay, so at the top you will be having root element, all remaining all children element here. Okay, so here catalog will be having opening and closing tag. So similarly each and every element, so either it may be books, laptops, book, laptop, title, author, all they will be having particularly element, opening at the same time closing tag here. So in between if you take any element, okay, so till now we have seen that XML document structure will look like something like a tree here. Okay, so if you consider a particular XML element, okay, so XML element will be having either it may be opening tag, okay, and as well as closing tag. So along with that one you will be having so text data. Okay, so in between opening and as well as closing tag you will be having text data. So or you may having some other element. Okay, so some other element can be also present in between opening and closing tag of XML here. Okay, so or you may be having here mix of all these things here. Okay, so mix of all the above. So opening and closing tags, text or data, so some other element and at the same time so mix of all the above elements here. So this can also be part of a single XML element here, either it may be text or it may be some other element or combination of text and as well as some other element. At the same time you may be also having some attributes within your XML element itself. Okay, so attributes we generally place inside the opening tag itself. If you take any kind of XML element, so it will be having opening and closing tag here by default. In between opening and closing tag, either you may have text data or you may have some other element or you may have here some attributes or the combination of text, other element and at the same time attributes here. So that will be possibility of existing. So in between your opening and closing tags here. Okay, so some of the rules that you want to follow or that you need to follow whenever we are going to providing names for your XML elements. Okay, so the rules that you want to follow while assigning the names to XML elements naming rules. If you see, so XML element name should always begin with either letter or it may be underscore. Other than these two symbols, if you see any other symbol, either it may be a special character or even it may be some kind of digit. So as the beginning letter of your XML element name, so that name is invalid here. Okay, so it can contain, the name of the XML element can contain letters or it may be digits or it may contain some kind of period symbols, so nothing but so dot symbols, or even it may contain underscores, or even it may contain hyphens. So these are the symbols that can be allowed within your XML element here. So at the same time, so it should not start with XML here. It should not start with XML word itself. So within the beginning of the name of the element itself, if you are having XML word, so let us say if you are having student, so in this particular element, so beginning letter is S, which is a normal S character here. So it is an alphabet here. Okay, so this is valid name. So but instead of that one, if you are having underscore student, so it is also valid. So but instead of that one, if you are having 9 student, it is not valid here. So but instead of that one, if you are having XML student, okay, so beginning first 3 characters are XML. Either it may be small XML or capital XML, or it may be capital X small ML, or it may be small x or capital ML, whatever it may be. So if the first 3 characters you are going to be seeing as X, M and as well as L, so then it is not a valid element in case of your XML language here. So that is the reason we are saying that it should not begin with XML keyword here. So other than XML, you can use any other kind of keyword here. Okay. So and your element name should not contain spaces. And at the same time, so whatever the particular names you are going to be using, all they are case sensitive. Okay, so case sensitive in the sense, let us say you are going to be writing like a particular element called letter. So here within this particular element, if you are going to be having so letter, so within that name, the first letter if you are going to be observing, we are having capital L. So this one is not similar to the XML element letter, where we are having the first letter as small l here. So in this particular element, the beginning letter is capital L. Here we are having the beginning letter as small l here. So both are considered as here. So 2 different elements here. So that is the reason we are saying that. So XML names follow case sensitive here. Okay. So case sensitivity they are going to be following here. Okay. So and at the same time, so XML element should be here properly nested. Okay. So properly nested in the sense here. So suppose we are going to be having here, so student name, okay, so then followed by that one, so we are going to be writing like something like Ravi. So then followed by that one, so you are going to be having, actually you are going to be expecting here slash student name. So but then followed by that Ravi, if you are going to be seeing, so here something like, so roll number, okay, so then 589. So then followed by that one slash roll number. Okay, so then followed by that one, so you are going to be seeing here, so slash student. Actually here the first tag you are seeing is student name. The ending tag for this one you should expect here slash student, but so that is not followed here. So we are not going to following here proper nesting of the tag names of your particular elements here. Okay, so that should not be possible. So in case of XML language, so always we need to follow the nesting order. Okay, so these things we need to follow whenever we are going to be creating any kind of XML language document here. Okay, so and at the same time, so within any kind of XML document, if you are going to be having an attribute, okay, so within for any element, if you are having an attribute, always attribute values should be enclosed in either it may be double or single quotes here. Okay, so let us say as of now I am going to be here, so writing one particular element, so book, then followed by slash book here. Okay, so in between that one I am going to writing here, so Java the complete reference, Java the complete reference here. So this is one particular XML element, so where we are going to be having name of the opening tag called book, closing tag called slash book. So in between that one we are having Java the complete reference. Okay, here it is one complete XML element. Okay, so book is here not a predefined tag, it is created by actually user himself. Okay, so then within the opening book tag, what we are doing is here we are going to adding here so one particular attribute called category. So basically attribute nothing but, so it is providing additional information related to your tags here. Okay, so and it should be part of only opening tag. So within the opening book tag, let us say I am going to here keeping one attribute called category. So category here representing actually whether the book is belonging to programming language book or it is related to some kind of algorithms development book here. Okay, so category, let us say I am going to giving as programming. Okay, so here it is representing that, so Java the complete reference is a book which falls under the category of programming languages here. Okay, so these kind of additional information related to your tags will be provided by your attribute. So here book is one kind of tag, so element tag name. So here category is your attribute of the tag here. Okay, so whatever the value we are going to be assigning is here for your attribute. For category attribute, the value we assigned is actually here programming. So that should be always enclosed within either double quotes or it may be in single quotes. So these are the rules we need to follow whenever we are going to be designing our particular XML elements. Okay, so till now any doubts? So if we don't have any doubts, then we can move for a sample example. Okay, so now we will try to develop one simple XML language document. Okay, so which is representing the data related to your particular student. Okay, so a student will be having somewhat information like, so name of the student, so then followed by roll number, so then year he is going to be studying, and at the same time semester he is going to be studying. Okay, so then followed by that one we want to also store the branch which he chosen. Okay, so let us say name of the student is Ravi, roll number is 589, year and semester is 32, branch is CSE. So these information related to students we need to store, so using XML format. Okay, so XML format, why we are going to be always preferring when transmitting the data means, so it can be both understood by machine at the same time human beings. So it is the language which can be understood by both human beings at the same time machines here. So that is the reason in majority cases we are going to be preferring the data so to be stored in XML format. So whatever the semi-structured data you will be having, so that will be mostly in XML language here. Okay, so now in order to represent a particular student information, so we are going to using this particular structure. So top element name we are going to taking as student. Okay, root element is nothing but here student. Student is your root element, and name of the student, roll number, year and sem, branch. All four elements are child elements of the student element here. Okay, so for storing this one, so we need to follow the syntax of the XML language. So always we need to include XML prolog as the first line within your XML document. Okay, so the syntax that you want to use in order to represent XML prolog is, so first we need to have opening angular braces, then question mark, then followed by that one XML, so then version. So version equal to, so right now we have only 1.0 version. Actually XML language has been so developed in the year 1996. Okay, so it was developed by W3C. So W3C nothing but so World Wide Web Consortium. Okay, so it is the recommendation from W3C organization here. So it was developed in the year 1996. Okay, so from that particular time period to till now, actually we are going to using one single version, and that version we are going to be calling as 1.0 version only. Okay, so minor additions we have, but version we don't have any change here. Okay, so version equal to 1.0 we need to give, and whatever the language encoding scheme we are going to be using in order to represent so this particular XML document data. So we need to represent that one also. Okay, UTF-8 format we majorly use for representing your data that has been stored in XML format here. Okay, first we need to give opening angular braces, then question mark, then followed by that one XML keyword, then version equal to 1.0 encoding scheme that we are going to be using for storing the data in order to represent it. Okay, so then followed by that one you have to have here question mark, then followed by that one closing angular braces here. Okay, so this one we actually call as XML prolog. Okay, so this line is not mandatory. Okay, so one thing we need to remember is XML Prolog is not mandatory. It is actually optional. Okay, so if we are going to using this one, if we don't use, then there is no problem. If we use this particular Prolog concept in case of XML language, so it should be always made as first line of your XML document. So that one we need to remember here. Okay, XML Prolog usage is here optional. Either we may use or we may not use here. So, but if we are using that one means always XML Prolog we need to keep as your first statement within your XML document here. Okay, so and one more thing we need to remember is always XML documents or XML programs we need to save with the help of .xml notation here. Okay, so now I am going to taking one example. Take your notepad. So go to file. So save as. So within the this folder, I am going to creating a subfolder. New folder. I am giving that one as XML prac. Under XML prac folder, I am going to saving this one as a student.xml file. So save as type all files. So notation we need to give at the ending is .xml. Okay. So first we need to use here Prolog. Okay, XML version equal to 1.0. So then followed by that one. So here encoding scheme. So we need to use is UTF-8. Okay. So why we are going to using encoding scheme means, so at the client side you may using one format. At the server side you may be using other format. In order to avoid that kind of incompatibilities, so we are saying that whatever the data we are going to be using here within this particular XML document that we stored, so it is going to strictly following UTF-8 format, so that the server can also reads that data according to that format only. Okay, so then followed by that one, so I am going to starting here root element called student. Okay, so then followed by that one, so for every opening tag you will be having closing tag similar to HTML. So student tag will be having closing student tag here. Okay, so within the student, so we need to have here 4 child elements. So what are those 4 child elements we are going to be having is, so name of the student. Okay, so let us say in between opening and closing tags of student and /student, I am going to keeping name /name. Okay, so then followed by name you should have roll number. So roll number. Okay, so for this one also you should have opening and as well as closing tags here. Okay, at the same time you will be having year and sem. Year sem. Opening and as well as closing tags here. Okay, so then followed by year and sem you should also have here branch. I am going to taking as here branch. Okay, so then /branch here. Okay, so name of the student I am going to giving as Ravi. So then roll number something like, so 597. So year and sem I am going to providing as 32. So then followed by that one branch and /branch. So in between these two we are going to giving as so CSE here. Okay, so if you look at this particular structure, okay, so here like we said a particular XML element, okay, so can contain what opening and closing tag, either it may be text data or it may some other element. Okay, so or it may be consisting of mix of all here. If you observe, so in between student and /student opening and closing tags we are having multiple other tags. Name, roll number, year, semester, branch have been included as data within your student tag here. So and at the same time if you take name and /name tags, in between these two instead of tags we are going to be using here text here. So that is the reason we are saying that, so any XML element can contain either text data or it may contain some other element or it may contain combination of both the things. Okay, along with that one you may also having here so attributes also. So in this particular example we don't have here attributes here. Okay, so let us say you want to add here an attribute called type for name element. So type equal to, so type here it is representing so name whether it is a first name or last name. Okay, so if you want to represent as first name then you can give as F name here. So it is indicating that so Ravi is actually a name. Okay, so it is belonging to first name category. So type is here attribute, name is here tag, f name is value. Values always we need to enclose within double quotes, or even you can enclose in single quotes here. Okay, so using this one you can follow the rules in order to frame your XML document. Okay, so then go to your location where you have saved your particular file. Okay, so I'm going to moving that folder XML pack. So here you are having one file called student. Okay, so if you double click on that one, here you will see, wait, okay, so year and semester you should have here slash. For every opening tag you should have compulsorily closing tag, otherwise you will see these kind of errors. So here file is existing but you are unable to see the data. So data, why you are unable to see here means, so previously in your program, so here before year semester you didn't kept slash here, but if you are going to keeping this one means you will see the data in hierarchical format. Still unable to see, means somewhere we have still errors. Name slash name, student slash student, branch slash branch. So at the ending you have to actually keep question mark. Okay, now if you see here, you are going to seeing this entire data as a tree format. So student, so if you observe here you are going to having a hyphen symbol, minus symbol. So if you are going to clicking that one, so entire this structure will get minimized. You will see only student. Okay, so as of now this particular document is having one root element called student. So what are the child elements of the student tag? If you want to see that one means you need to click on plus symbol here. It is having name, roll number, year, semester and as well as branch here. So all these are 4 children of student tag here. Student is a parent tag, name, roll number, year, semester, branch. So all they are what? All they are the child tags are, so child elements of the parent element called student. Okay, so this is how you are going to generally storing the XML data. So XML doesn't more focus on presentation part. It will mainly focus on how your data is going to be stored, but not how you are going to presenting that data. Okay, so here if you see we have 4 siblings. So name, roll number, year, semester, branch are siblings to each other and part of and they are only childs of student here. Okay, so but whatever the initial example that you had seen, okay, so where if you take this particular image, in this image if you are seeing we are having catalog as the main parent element. So child elements as books and laptops. Again within books you are having book and laptop. So again we are having multiple childs here. So this structure if you want to implement means, so what we can do is we can take one notepad. So then go to file, so save as XML pack under that folder. So save as catalog.xml. Okay, all files save. So here opening angular bracket and question mark XML version equal to 1.0. So then followed by that one encoding scheme that we are going to be using is UTF-8 format. So then followed by question mark and closing angular bracket. Okay, so this is what we have to actually keep as the first statement within our XML document, that is XML prologue. So then followed by that one, if you see this image, you should have only one top root element called catalog. Okay, so we are going to keeping this particular one catalog, and then followed by that one you are going to also keeping slash catalog. Okay, so this is your parent element. So for catalog, if you see we have 2 child elements. So what are the 2 child elements we are going to be having is here. So one is books, the other one we are going to be having is laptops. Okay, so create one child called books, so then one more child called laptops here. Okay, so then so in between books and slash books, and as well as laptops and slash laptops. Okay, so laptops and books are childs of catalog here. Under books you should have multiple book tags here. Okay, so if you take books, so we should have here book slash book elements. Okay, so within this book what we should have is here, so title, author and price here. Inside book we are going to keeping, so title tag, title and slash title. So then author slash author, so then followed by slash author, so then followed by that one price. Okay, we'll complete this one in 5 minutes, so please be patient. So title of the book I am going to be providing as, so Java the complete reference. Okay, so then followed by that one author I am going to taking as Herbert Sheet. Okay, so price, let us say I am going to be taking as 700. Okay, so this is information related to one complete book. So the same kind of another structure I am going to be here creating within inside of books only. Okay, inside of books only I am going to creating one more child called book. So where title instead of Java we are taking as C the complete reference. Author is same but the price is 500. We are taking one more book. So here now the title I am going to taking is, so data structures. Okay, so data structures, so author I am going to taking as Debasis Samantha. So price I am going to taking as something like 1700. Okay, so now what we did is, actually we created one parent tag called catalog. Under that one we created 2 tags called books and laptops. Under books we created 3 sub tags called book. Within book you will be having again 3 sub tags called title, author and as well as price. So you will see the hierarchical structure within the output itself. Okay, so then followed by that one, if you see the another subchild tag of the catalog tag laptops, so under this one I am going to creating one more tag, that is child element called laptop and as well as slash laptop. So in between these two I am going to including brand slash brand. Okay, so at the same time you will be having hard disk drive configuration slash hard disk drive, so then followed by that one, so RAM configuration slash RAM, so then followed by that one price. Okay, slash price. Okay, so brand, let us say I am going to taking as Acer. So hard disk drive I am going to taking as 2 terabytes, RAM I am going to taking as 8 GB. So price I am going to let us say taking as 35,000. Okay, so the same kind of one more laptop I want to here created for HP. Okay, or it may be Dell. So brand I am going to taking as Dell laptop. So instead of 2 terabytes I am going to taking as 1 terabyte, 4 GB. So instead of 35,000 I am taking as 27,000 here. Okay, so means if you see the output of this particular XML document, you will be seeing one particular tree kind of structure, whatever you are seeing in this image. Okay, so go to your XML pack folder, so then catalog. If you see the output of this catalog file, so here if you observe within catalog we are having 2 childs called laptops and books. Okay, so if you see here within the inside of the catalog, as of now we are having only 2 childs, books and laptops. If you expand books, you are having 3 book childs. 3 book childs are available for books tag here. Okay, so again within book tag you are having 3 childs called title, author and as well as price here. At the same time, if you see laptops, so within the laptops if you are going to be expanding, we have 2 elements called laptop. So within 2 elements laptop we are having brand, hard disk drive, RAM and as well as price as your child elements of the laptop. So overall nothing but if you see the structure here, price, RAM, hard disk drive, brand are children of laptop. Laptop is children of slash laptops here. Okay, so then followed by that one, so laptops is again children of catalog. So books is also children of catalog. So books is having 3 childs called book. Within each and every book we are having the childs called title, author and as well as price here. Okay, so this is what your tree structure will look like. Okay, so along with your names for your XML elements, you can also here provide the attributes also. Okay, so let us say we are having here book. So for this one, you can provide the attribute as category. Okay, so category. So Java is belonging to programming category. You can provide like this. Okay, so that you can here differentiate that which book falls under which category here. So even C is also programming kind of category. So let us say data structure. So for this one category you can provide as here. So algorithms. Okay, so depending upon the category attribute here. Okay, so we can here easily find out that this particular book is of what particular category, whether it is belonging to algorithms or networks, or it may be programming languages here. Okay, so one more thing you need to here observe related to the attributes is, so we don't have particular kind of sufficient rules that, so which one we need to use that which one we can have to use as a element and which one we need to use as a particular attribute here. Okay, so let us say if you are having here, so here if you take first name, we are taking one attribute called person /person. Okay, so here inside this one I am going to taking two more tags. So that is fname /fname, so then last name and as well as /last name here. Okay, so then inside this one what I am doing is first name I am going to taking as Ravi, so then second last name I am going to taking as Kumar. So what I am doing is for person attribute I am going to adding here one attribute called gender. Okay, so for this one I am going to assigning as male value. Okay, so the same example if you are going to be observing, I am going to rewriting like this, the same example. So in this example what I am doing is here I am going to removing gender as an attribute. Okay, so instead of that one what I am doing is here inside the person I am going to taking one element called gender. So gender and /gender. So here in between gender and /gender I am writing as male. So if you see both two examples are representing the same information. So person gender is male, first name is Ravi, last name is Kumar. Here also person gender is male, first name is Ravi, last name is Kumar. But here we are using the gender which has represented in attribute fashion. Here gender has been represented in element fashion here. So we don't have any difference here. So that is up to the user or developer or author wish that whether he want to use a particular property as an attribute or he want to use that one as an element here. Okay, even you can use as an element or even you can use as a attribute here. Okay, so these are the basics concept related to the XML language. Okay, so I have completed from my side. If you are having any doubts you can ask. So meanwhile I would like to take attendance. So I am going to stop sharing my screen.